am someone who understands the purpose of life to be primarily a learning experience. For me, reincarnation makes a lot of good sense, and these understandings are connected to one another. They go hand in hand. I live with the hope that I'm learning things in this lifetime I will somehow carry with me into a new body, a new existence on a soul level. This isn't something I'm seeking agreement about. It's just what I'm working with. It matches my felt sensibility, it meets my inner knowing, and for now, that's enough. Perhaps for this reason, or maybe I'm just built this way, I'm fond of processes of intention and reflection. Having made it through some challenging season of life, I'm prone to pull it apart and explore the pieces, thoughts, actions, intersections. What did I do or not do that contributed to the experience and eventual outcome? What's my takeaway? What have I learned? Whether we call it a birthday wish, a New Year's resolution, or something else entirely, many of us are called to a familiar habit or process of introspection that we undergo with semi-annual regularity. Around the time I started divinity school, I took on a habit of calling in a new life lesson plan for the year ahead. In practice, this looked like trying to choose what I hoped to learn about, often in the form of equality. This year, I want to learn about kindness. Or this year, I want to learn about truth. Or this year, I want to get really good at not knowing, non-attachment, or non-expectation. I found that my lesson plan requests were generally met. Maybe that's because magic is real. Or maybe because the divine in one form or another was listening and preparing my life accordingly. What feels more likely is that awareness itself made it so. Like when you get a new car or fall in love with a new shade of blue, and then you begin to see it everywhere you go. Having submitted my petition to learn about truth, for instance, I was more aware of truth, offering truth, holding an expectation of truth. And so truth met me all over my life, and wherever I went, there sat truth with her big stack of facts. I gave up this practice. At the close of the year, I'd asked to learn about equanimity. It had seemed like a safe request of the universe. Please teach me about equanimity. I imagined for myself a calm and comfortable year ahead, perhaps with increased opportunities to float or swim or balance. Wow, was I wrong about that? 2020, anyone else? Were we all asking to learn about equanimity? It was the most tumultuous, topsy-turvy nonsense year of my life to date. And in hindsight, it's easy to see the mistake in the act of my making it. Silly me. We don't learn about equanimity in the gentle times of peace and quiet. We come to understand equanimity in the stormiest seasons of our living. That's where we get to know it, hone it, and encourage our ability with the thing. Our knowledge and understanding of equanimity is made in the mess. After I survived that year and did my best to tidy up the fallout, I thanked my teachers, all of the experiences that had guided that particular year of study, and I retired that practice. But when I sat down to wonder about hope and what it means to choose hope, I was reminded of it. As with equanimity, we don't learn about hope when our wishes have been granted, when all is going according to plan, or when our needs are few. We come to learn what it truly means to have hope when our hearts are laid bare with longing. Our hope muscle is strengthened when what we want, need, and work for is beyond our reach, just beyond the likely or predictable outcome, subverting our reasonable expectations. Joanna Macy talks about choosing hope, naming it active hope. She shares, active hope is a practice like Tai Chi or gardening. It's something we do rather than have. It's a process we can apply to any situation, and it involves 3 key steps. First, we take a clear view of reality. Second, we identify what we hope for in terms of the direction we'd like things to move in or the values we'd like to see expressed. And third, we take steps to move ourselves or our situation in that direction. She continues, since active hope doesn't require our optimism, we can apply it even in areas where we feel hopeless. The guiding impetus is intention. We choose what we aim to bring about, act for, or express, rather than weighing our chances and proceeding only when we feel hopeful. We focus on our intention and let it be our guide. What she's describing feels to me like committing to a practice of clearing out space internally for hope to arrive, giving it room to root, and providing good conditions in which it may grow and thrive within each of us. Sometimes, however, we can make the most thoughtful preparations, and even so, hope fails to make an appearance. Other times, hope arrives unbidden, fully formed, demanding our attention, begging us to come alive to some new possibility. If hope has a source, there are infinite ways to honor it, access it, and engage with it. Active hope, then, choosing hope, is a determination to live with awareness and tenacity, continually tilling the soil for hope to sprout from, making and remaking the invitation to hope to take up residence with us. I'm increasingly convinced that once we've held real hope, it's easier to locate our hope muscle again the next time we need it, no matter the outcome of what it was we were hoping for. We learn the shape, the weight, what it takes to carry it along, what it gives when we allow it to give and to be an engine of our giving. We learn all of that just by holding it, not by having our hopes realized, but by living with the longing and the hopes born from it. My own most sincere hopes happen to relish the company of defiance. These qualities are at play within me. They're rubbing up on one another. Acts of defiance, especially protesting, make my hopes sing and soar. I'm not saying that connection's true for everyone, but that's me. I'm as hopeful as I am defiant. Stubborn might be another name for it. But these qualities encourage each other, they egg each other on, daring greater depths and the emergence of new possibilities. There's a Shel Silverstein poem that speaks to this. Maybe you remember it. Listen to mustn'ts, child. Listen to the don'ts. Listen to the shouldn'ts, the impossibles, the won'ts. Listen to the never haves, then listen close to me. Anything can happen, child. Anything can be. home is a sermon all by itself. Hope and defiance entwined, dancing, cultivating possibility together quite bravely. For me, increasing possibility is one aspect of my litmus test for divine presence. Does this action, this pattern, this train of thought have the effect of increasing possibility? If so, I might learn more about what I've become willing to call God by growing my awareness or understanding of whatever it is. Negating or diminishing possibility proves to me that my ego is at work, or worse, run amok. Again, we don't have to agree, but I got to these answers the hard way, and I won't give them up easily. This belief at work in me places God and ego relationally and oppositionally. Sometimes I name these forces love and fear, both complex and nuanced, neither all positive or all negative, never an easy either or, but alive together and always in relationship to one another. I've been given an outsized amount of hope, or I've held it so often, so thoroughly, that I've formed a cavernous space somewhere within my being where a whole whale of hope often shows up and resides with barely a whisper in her direction. I happen to also be very gullible and optimistic, but that's a coincidence. These are different qualities, distinct attributes or imperfections, depending on who you ask, and my wife is not here today. My hoping nature is easily fed, nourished, and sustained on a steady diet of increasing possibilities. We've touched on it together before. Thich Nhat Hanh tells us, thanks to impermanence, all things are possible. And these words, foundational to my theology, have the effect of renewing my relentless, defiant, hopeful spirit because I understand that impermanence and so possibility is the true nature of all living things. My belief system has consequences for my living, things I'd better watch out for and regularly grapple with. When change is the reality, it becomes foolish to attach myself to anything. Attachment will inevitably bring suffering, and if change is inevitable, then giving up feels easier, more likely. Expectations are one form of attachment. They leave us stranded between hope and fear. I hope this will happen. I fear it will not. Or else our expectations leave us suspended between the past and the future. Our expectations are the product of our past experiences and the future desires formed by them. To choose hope is to live with and invite a greater understanding and knowledge of hope, one that's grown with awareness, intention, and tenacity, decoupled from attachment and expectation. Choosing hope is its own theology, its own way of being. Any of us that feel called to it might try it, take it on, live with it a while, and reflect on how it feels, and grapple with the consequences as they emerge. If you're someone who wants to enter the new year with a strong practice of choosing hope, then I recommend locating what for you is a source of hope, and then navigating the larger landscape of hope with that established landmark at the center, a place you can turn and return to. I've found my own landmark, and it's you. You are a source of hope in my life because you are brimming with possibility, but also because we are making something together. We are making covenants and agreements about our shared values and how we live and practice them. We are making coffee and tea and lemonade and cookies for one another and sharing these in community. We are making a home. It's not finished, it's ongoing, in motion, and so anything is possible. All are welcome here, and so what we're making must continue to grow to include the gifts and challenges that everyone brings collaboratively. We're making something together while we all learn about love and practice it and get better at it. You are my hope, and in your good company, I continually find I am renewed in the belief that we're going to be okay. May we find and celebrate all our sources of hope as we embrace the practice of choosing hope together on this, the darkest day. May it be so. Amen. Amen. Ashe.